This is a 2022 Jayco Terrain. I just got this a few weeks ago, put about 4 or 5 nights into it, boondocking mainly. This is the first night at a campground that we stayed. Driven about 1,000 miles, so gotten a good sense of how it drives. Mainly on roads, haven't taken off-road yet, but pretty happy with the Jayco Terrain. Been looking for a while for a camper van, and this one popped up recently. Did a lot of research and pretty happy with the results of it so far. So I want to take you through a quick overview. I'm going to do a walkthrough of both the exterior as well as the interior of the Jayco Terrain. And then I want to go over some of the chassis, like what the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van features, as well as some of the safety stuff, how it drives. So let's start with the exterior. So this is built on a Mercedes 2500 144-inch Sprinter chassis. That means that it's around 19.5 feet. It does fit in a standard parking spot, so super drivable, especially if you're in an urban environment and you go into the city, or if this is like your daily driver, then you can actually take it to run errands. It won't be easy, like if you're going to Target or something like that, where there's a lot of people on a Sunday afternoon, but you can do it. It can be your daily driver. I've been driving this about half the time as my daily driver, and the other half I've been just using my car. So I like how it drives, it's pretty easy. It's not like something that's super long, like a Class A. It's 19.5 feet, so it does fit in a standard parking spot. So in terms of the exterior, Jayco does require you to have an optional mandatory package, which means it's mandatory. So you do get a whole bunch of upgrades. So I want to take you through some of the exterior stuff, as well as talk about some of the upgrades. So this is how it looks. It is on a high roof van, so you can actually walk in the van. And you do sit about eye level to like a dump truck driver or like a semi truck driver, so you're pretty high. So you can see pretty high up. It does feature like pretty good ground clearance. So if you're doing off-roading, you can easily clear a lot of obstacles. And it is 4x4. Meaning that you can turn the 4x4 on and off. It does require you to kind of slow down, flip a switch, turn it on, and then slow down again and turn it off. So it's not super automatic, but it does give you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to use it, which is nice for most situations. All right, so let's go front, back, top, bottom. So let's do this. So in the front over here, you have LED lights. It features a lot of cool stuff, you know, like I was driving in cruise control, and this is probably just me having an old car normally, but with this new model, you can have just smart cruise control. It'll slow down if cars are in front of you. It'll turn on the high beams if there are no cars in front of you, turn it off. So they're really nice during long drives at night. On top over here, you have this LED strip that you can turn on and off. Haven't used it, but if you're looking for a lot of light, then this will do it for you. You can flip the switch on the driver's side or use the LCD control panel to do it. In terms of the wheels and tires, these are BF Goodrich KO2 tires that come with it, along with high-spec wheels. They're really nice. It does feature also Kone shocks. Can't get a good view of it over here, but you do have Kone shocks that are inside, as well as a sway bar. So I've been driving this on highway speeds with crosswinds, and it seems to handle pretty well, pretty safe. I don't feel like I'm driving a vehicle that is immobile. On the driver's side over here, you do have a step as well as an LED light. Moving backwards over here, up top, you do have a roof rack where you can store a lot of goodies. There are 4 solar panels as well as a AC, as well as a max air fan. So it does limit what you can put up top. You just have to be really careful, especially with the solar panels. But you can put a lot of stuff up top, as well as you can put in more bars. On the driver's side passenger, you have a motorized window. So you flip a switch and it'll slide out and in. Cassette toilet exterior here, so it is locked. You use a key, you can unlock it, pull out the cassette toilet without having to carry the cassette contents from the interior of your camper van. So there's no spillage or anything, super easy. And then you can take that and dump it in any type of toilet or porta potty. You have your LED lights, that's dimmable. So if you're doing it at night, you can see that. You have your ports over here, like your gray water tank valve. And then you have your Timberline heater exhaust that comes here. The Timberline heater is very quiet, as well as when you use it on diesel mode, you can get a lot of output from it. So it keeps your vehicle nice and toasty. I am connected on Shoreline right now. It's a 30 amp Shoreline. You can also get an adapter and put it to 15 amps on your inverter, so you can just use a regular plug and plug it into your home or wherever you are. It does charge at half the speed, but it still charges pretty quick. You do have these pop outs on either side. On the driver's side, the pop out's a little bigger. On the passenger side, which I'll show you, it's a little thinner just to make room for the sliding door. On this side, you do have a window that pops out, so it gives you nice airflow inside. Let's look at the rear over here. You have a ladder that's hooked up. You can unlock the ladder and then bring it to the driver's side over here, which allows you to climb on the roof. And all along this, you have these protectors over here where the ladder will attach to. You have a towing hitch, as well as, if we can look up, full-size spare and a sway bar. So big fan of these shocks and sway bar. Makes the handling on this Sprinter van very easy. The full-size spare is the stock Mercedes tires, so it's not your KO2s, nor is it the high-spec wheels. On the passenger side, you do have an awning over here. This is a Carefree awning, and then you can just flip a switch to bring it out, either full or halfway. It doesn't have any legs on it, so it doesn't perform really well in high winds, but it has this feature where it'll automatically retract if it's too windy. You have these speakers. So there's two speakers on the exterior, same speakers in the interior, two of them. They're connected to a stereo system. So not your chassis stereo system, the Mercedes-Benz one, but it's actually connected to something in the interior where you can plug in via a cable or a Bluetooth, where you can just play it FM AM radio. And then you have this pop out over here. This pop out is a lot thinner to make room for the sliding door, but still allows you a lot of space in the interior, especially in the garage. You have 120 volt plug here, which you can plug in standard outlets. And over here, you have your passenger side window. The window's not the whole thing. It's this portion over here, which is sliding. So it's not motorized like the other side, but it still allows you to slide your window out. Running boards on the bottom that have LED lights to it. I think that's about it. So yeah, so this is the Jayco Terrain. Okay, so let's take a look at the interior of the Jayco Terrain. It's gonna walk in from the passenger side sliding door, starting from the very front over here. You do have this exterior latch table, so you can unlatch it from the top, and then you have a place for you to hang out outside. This is adjustable, meaning that if you're on an unlevel ground, you can adjust the L track based on the slope that you're on. This is really convenient if you want to cook. You can just hook up your induction cooktop here, plug it in from the outside, or you can plug it into the inside as well. There's a plug up top. So it's very convenient if you want to do some dining outdoors. And this is convenient too, because over here, you do have a awning. So you can extend the awning all the way out or halfway or whatever floats your boat. And then you can have a nice little place to hang out over here in the Jayco Terrain. All right, easy folding with one hand. These two latches here. Just takes a second. Below the tabletop, you do have some low point drains. So when you're going ahead and winterizing your Jayco Terrain, you'll use these drains to flow out all the water, and you can blow it out and then use some antifreeze, non-toxic of course, in order to winterize your water lines. All right, going in from here, you do have a couple different things. So backing out here, this is a pretty tall fridge. So this fridge sits here in the very front. This allows you easy access where if you're dining outside, you can easily go in and then pop open your fridge, grab a water, grab a drink, whatever you want. I just have a lot of milk for my kid over here. And these storage areas here are pretty deep, so you can fit a lot of food. Up top over here, you do have a pretty deep and sizable freezer for ice and other frozen goodies. I do anticipate that through this size of a fridge, you can probably feed 2 adults for about a week, maybe more if you do like more dry goods, but there's plenty of space over here if you want to go off-grid. Below the fridge, you do have your Coach 12-volt power switch on and off, and this is your awning, retract and extend. This is the physical switch, but then on the LCD control panel in your Jayco Terrain, as well as in the garage area, there are buttons for you to extend and retract the awning. All right. When you do walk in, you have the rear passenger seating area here. These are 2 automotive seats, style seats. I have a Nunarava child seat here because I have a 2-year-old toddler. So he's sitting here with his nice little viewport. So let's talk about these 2 seats over here. One of the reasons why I like the Jayco Terrain a lot is because these are steel-mounted, very comfortable automotive seats, which allow you to fit 2 adults, as well as allow you to easily mount a car seat to it. So one of the features I like a lot about here is that it can not only pull out, so you can pull it out over here, so allows you more shoulder room over here, or just space in general if you have 2 adults, or in our situation, this car seat with this little baby cup holder kind of gets in the way when it is when the 2 seats are pushed together. So it allows you a little bit more space over here, but then you can even pull out the seat too. So you can pull out the seat pretty far, which gives you this chance to recline. Bear with me, one-handed here, it's pretty hard. So you can recline it, I believe 115, 120 degrees. I forget what the manufacturer says. This is made by Aguchi, this European company. It's called the Milan bench seat. And it has been ECE tested. So it's been pull tested, whatever that means. So it looks pretty safe, feels pretty safe. It is bolted to the frame itself. Very adjustable, very comfortable. In terms of the cushion itself, it's a leatherette style. It kind of feels like some of the seats you have at your dentist's office, but doesn't smell like it. It's very comfortable and very premium. Each seat does have a shoulder strap. So a shoulder harness that has this locking feature based on force. It doesn't ratchet, so if you're a parent looking for booster seats and car seats, it doesn't ratchet, but it's still pretty safe. You just need to buy another doohickey in order to make sure that the shoulder straps are tight. All right, so these seats are fantastic. All right, so push back the seats. Below the seats, you have a few different things. You have your house circuit breakers, your GFCIs. You have over here your fuse box for your house. You have a furnace output that you can adjust and open. You have a USB ports, 2 of them, and then you have these 120 volt standard house plugs. You have this netting over here, which allow you to store some additional materials. And then, if I move this bin over here, you have an area for your lagoon table. It is a 3-piece lagoon table that does come with the Jayco Terrain, and you can set it up here. It folds out, it swivels. It's pretty nice. I'm not going to demonstrate it because it's in my garage and it's pretty heavy. So, and I also do have this car seat, so I'm not going to move it. All right, another piece of it over here on the driver's side. This window is fairly large. It does include a privacy screen. And then on the bottom side, you have a solar shade. And then you can do something in the middle and adjust it however way that you like. So it's pretty nice. You also do have a button here, which you can't really see. This is a motorized window. So this is how you open it, push and hold, and it goes all the way. It does include this bug screen. Haven't used this a lot, so it gets a little sticky. But you have a bug screen here, which you can just detach and open to let a lot of airflow in. And then you just use the switch again in order to close the window. Overall, it does work pretty well. On my unit, it does hit this gasket over here. So I anticipate that I'll need to find a solution in order to fix this design issue over here. All right, up top over here, you have a cabinet for storage. These are push to open and push to lock style hardware. And then up here you have a bunch of storage. It's pretty deep. This is one of the deeper storage areas of your Jayco Terrain. The two things to kind of really point out here, aside from kind of all the stuff that we have over here already, is you do have a house radio. So this isn't your chassis radio, which is as part of your Mercedes Sprinter van. This powers the two internal speakers as well as the two external speakers of your Jayco Terrain. So you can hook it up through USB, through aux input, as well as through Bluetooth, and you can play music, or you can just play the AM, FM radio through this. Over here, if I lift this bin, over here you have a few controls. You do have your bed loft control, as well as you have your kind of your battery monitor. So this is kind of like the battery monitor for Renogy. This is just kind of a Sam Kuhn screen, and it shows you a bunch of information about your battery. And then over here, that is a Renogy Wanderer. That's your solar controller for your chassis battery, and it trickle charges. This is something you'll never look at. This is something you'll look at from time to time, and this is something you use all the time. All right. Let me try to lift this back in. All right. So that's your upper cabinet there. And then we have a whole bunch of controls over here. This is the Jayco Terrain. I didn't call it the J command, but this is your 7-inch LCD screen. You can control everything on your Jayco Terrain in terms of your house, which we'll go over in more detail later. You have a thermometer over here for your furnace. You have your Renogy battery switch. My wife has labeled this, so it's great. You know, you never want to turn this off when your battery is charging, otherwise you may kill it. You have your Turboline heater, both your diesel heater, hot water heater, as well as your electric heater in this control. And then lastly over here, you have your inverter remote on-off switch. I'll go over all these controls in more detail on a later video. All right, so if I turn to the right over here, it's forward cabin. So obviously you have driver, and then you have passenger. Atop over here, you have a headliner. So this is pretty deep. This is one of the biggest storage areas. So you can put in bins, kind of whatever you want over here. We anticipate that we'll put in our clothes that we need, as well as some other additional items like toilet paper and whatever. So a lot of storage over here. It does come with two straps on each side, so one on the left and one on the right, so you can tie down things so it doesn't roll around. When you do get your Jayco Terrain off the dealer, then your privacy screens for your front windshield as well as your driver and passenger side come in here, and they're super big and bulky. And then your lagoon table also fits into here. All right. So I'm gonna go over the forward area later. So let's turn into more of the living areas. So living area over here, you have kind of the kitchen area on the passenger side, and then on the right hand side over here, you have your wet bath, shower, as well as cassette toilet. So let's go over the kitchen first. All right, so this is the kitchen area. This sits a little higher than a standard kitchen height, but it's still very serviceable. I think the reason why they made it like this is because it increases the amount of storage you have in the drawers, as well as the size of the fridge. And this lip over here provides a nice way to prevent water from spilling all over the place, especially on slanted, if we're parked on like land that's slanted. So this is really helpful. Really do enjoy this. It's been silicone caulked, so it's really meant to capture water. A few things that I want to show you over here. First is just overhead storage. This storage compartment is a little bit smaller than the first one above the rear passenger seats, but still pretty sizable. It does slant over here, so you're not getting a full box. Below here, you do have a billion drawers. So let me shift over here. You have a lot of drawers. This one is a little shallow, as well as pretty small. So we have just some small items. This one is standard depth. We have a whole bunch of like tea and spices in here. This one's also standard depth. This is our toiletries. And this one has a lot of miscellaneous items, but it contains our pasta pans for the induction cooker. So this one is the deepest. Sorry, it's the tallest. So you'll be able to fit pasta pans easily down here. All right. 1, 2, and 3. These three drawers all pull out to the same depth, but then they're different height. Only the first one is a little short. Okay, moving on here, we have this pantry area over here. So this pantry area contains a bunch of storage, a lot of stuff. This is a standard paper towel roll, so you kind of see how deep it goes. This is where we keep a bunch of our food and some miscellaneous items. And then we do have the same depth over here. So this is a gallon water bottle that we're able to fit in, as well as some other random stuff. All right, skip this one, come back to it later. And then we have some additional storage on the bottom over here. This is your induction cooktop. You basically just plug it in and heats up stuff super fast. And then we have an espresso machine over here that fits in. And then some other random stuff that you can fit in at the bottom here. So actually a lot of storage for being such a small unit. We're still filling it up. It's only been a few weeks, but we do anticipate that we'll have enough storage for all this stuff. Another big feature that we like a lot about this kitchen area is that it does have these extendable countertops. So you basically pull it out, push it up, and then this gives you a ton of workspace. So we have this out during cooking or just during like nightly prep before going to bed. And this one over here pulls out as well. This flips. Everything is a lot harder to do when you have, oops, just doing this with one hand. So this countertop storage, this prep area is really nice. So yes, prep area here, more than enough space to do whatever you need to do, whether it's cooking or getting ready, doing some work. This one folds over. All right, so that's some of the storage that you have. You have a standard sink over here. It's a sink with a macerator, so hot water, cold water. This thing swivels. And then it comes with a little catch over here in the drain. And then you do have a macerator, meaning that the macerator kind of It kind of chews up all the little bits of whatever's going down, and it pumps it to the other side of your terrain where your gray water tank is. So it pulls it through. All right. Let me see. What else do we got here? All right. Under this cabinet over here, we do have 120 volts plugs. So you plug in your induction cooktop if you're cooking inside, or you can just run an extension cord to the exterior. There is a plug on the outside that you can plug into as well. You have an LED light over here, as well as this is your macerator. I'm gonna turn on an LED light. And then you have some L tracks here that you can mount some cool stuff with. All right, going back here, you have an LED light, and then you have an L track too. All right, so that's your cabinetry, that's your kitchen. It's pretty sizable. This gap over here is pretty small, and I have both seats pushed in, I believe. So it's pushed in all the way now. I would estimate this being about 12 to 14 inches max. So for most folks, you won't be able to walk straight through. You'll have to do this side shuffle business that happens. So that's something to consider if you're looking for a little more space. In terms of ceiling height, you know, I have more than enough height. I'm 5'5". My wife is 5'2", so it doesn't really affect us. We have had friends kind of walk through here around kind of the 5'8" to 5'10" height, and that's fine. So if you're taller than 6 feet, then you may have some issues, especially bumping into like speakers and like fire detectors. So that's something to watch your head about. All right. Let me see, what else to go over? All right, so some stuff to go over in the ceiling. All right, so this is an LED light. You have several of these within the Terrain. This is one of 2 internal speakers. So you have one in the interior over here, and then you have one in the garage bed area. Up top over here, you have your max air fan. This thing is super efficient. So if you live in more of a temperate environment, you can just turn this fan on and then open a window in the garage area, and then it'll pull a whole bunch of cool air in. So it's pretty easy. You just press on. It automatically pops the top and it starts going. And you can also do some manual settings here if you want to. But this thing is generally pretty quiet and pretty efficient. All right. All right. So let's move on to the wet bath. The wet bath does include some door locks, but it is also magnetic. So these labels, we're living in this, so there's some customizations we're doing over here to make it a little more easy for us to live in. This door is full size, so we've used this to give a little more privacy. So someone's using the restroom and then someone else is like in the bed area, then it seals off that area of the Terrain, which is really nice. Or if you want to have kind of this privacy area from the front, then you can just open this door as well. This wet area does contain a big door that we just talked about and more kind of the side door. For most folks, you actually won't need to use both doors. You'll just use this big one. But opening this one up does give you more space to kind of fiddle around with storage or just do whatever you need to do over here. All right. So this is the wet bath. This is not only a wet bath, but with a shower head. Pretty high quality. Gives you this on-off little switch for your shower. This includes a water miser, so it recirculates water until it's hot, and this blue thing would turn white, so you won't waste any water, hot, cold, that kind of stuff over here. And then you have a cassette toilet. This cassette toilet does swivel, so sometimes if you kind of walk into the cassette toilet, it may look like this, and you're thinking, how do I use it? You can easily just swivel it, turn it however way that you want to in order to create the most amount of space. It's pretty easy to use, this cassette toilet. One of the benefits of this cassette toilet that I like a lot is the cassette is accessible from the exterior of the Terrain on the driver's side. So you just unlock it, pop it open, and then you can take out the contents of the cassette and dump it into a toilet very easily instead of having to drag the cassette up or toilet through the unit of your Terrain. So no splashes. All right, does include this close cord, and then this is an LED light. It's a push button, and then over here you have some ventilation. So you just pop the top. Sorry, it was already open. So pop the top, and then you can turn on this fan over here to ventilate kind of musty air or stinky air. Then just pull it closed. So pretty easy to use. And then you have a little storage area over here. This is just a little body wash over here. And then you have a toilet paper cover and holder. This is supposed to be kind of waterproof here, so if you're taking a shower, your toilet paper won't turn all soggy. And then you have a shower curtain that goes all the way. It's built in, so that's a really nice benefit in addition to the doors. Your Jayco Terrain also comes with two kind of storage, bamboo storage, what do you call it? Yeah, two bamboo wood shelves. So I took them out, but if you're not going to use the wet bath or the cassette toilet, or you're only going to use a cassette toilet and not use a shower, you can put in one of the shelves over here, and this will give you a ton of more storage. So we're planning on using this every day, so we don't have it as a storage area. So lock this, close this. Okay, there we go. All right. So before I head back to the garage, let's take a look at how to actually lower the bed. So let me turn on the lights here. Okay, I'll have the lights on. And then you'll basically just push the down arrow here in order to lower the bed. So you can press and hold and it'll lower, and then, or you can tap it, and it's really up to you. I do have some sleeping bags and etc. Over here. So, you know, one of the things that I have to do is I have to make sure that this cover doesn't get caught. So I think this is just one of the design things here where you just have to get used to it. Haven't really gotten used to it, so I have to lower it up to a certain point, and then hope for the best, then pop up that one on the passenger side, and then I can lower the bed fully without getting stuck on one of those. We have a whole bunch of sleeping bags and pillow situation here, so it doesn't really look ideal. I'm going to switch this out for a topper as well as bed sheets to make it a little more comfortable. But one of the cool things about this garage style elevator bed is that your bed can just be here. You don't have to like take it away every morning. You can just leave your pillows, your linens, and then you can just elevate your bed and not have to worry about it. And then once you're tired, you just lower everything and sleep pretty quickly. So that's one of the great things about this. So this is a garage area. You walk in. This is the lowest it goes. Obviously, you can sleep on this bed if it's higher if you want to, but this is the kind of the standard lowest, which still gives you some storage area over here for whatever you're hauling. All right. You have one of the pop outs here that gives you a little more headroom or foot room. And then you have the bigger pop out here, which gives you this pop out window too. So it's pop out window, a privacy screen, solar screen, or somewhere in between. And then there you go, pop it out. Lots of breeze going on here, especially if you use the fan. Okay, and then you have two kind of reading lights. Press once for blue, or press again for off, and then you press and hold for kind of this normal a white yellow light, and then press again and turn it off. You have 120 volt plug here. And then you have some controls here. So you can control a lot of lighting. So first 2 rows, lighting, extend and retract for the awning. And then you have some master light on off. So it's really helpful. You're going to sleep, want to kill the lights, just press master light off and then turn off all the lights without you having to get up and turn off the lights from the front. There is the second interior speaker. And this is your air conditioning unit. This is a Coleman Mach 10, I believe. It's pretty efficient, pretty quiet in general. Haven't used it too much, but anticipate over the summer we'll be using this a lot more. So let me increase the height of this bed. All right, so there you go. Your bed is tucked away. I'm gonna kill the lights a little bit here. Let's talk about the garage. So I'm gonna exit and turn around. All right, so this is your garage over here. Let's talk about it. So garage area, driver's side, you have your battery unit. You unhook this. Oh, sorry. So you have your Energy 110 amp hour battery. It's huge. It runs from here all the way to right about over there. So this is a huge battery. You have your inverter over here. One of your 2 PV, your solar panel disconnects over here. And then you have some other stuff like your DC external solar port connector and your alternator regulator thingy as well. So you can access all of that by removing this. This is just regular Phillips head screws, and you just pop it out, and then you can remove this panel, do some servicing in this area. On the passenger side, so this is your water tank as well as your water pump. The water pump is behind this panel. This panel gives you a whole bunch of stuff that you can use in order to figure out how to pump water in, as well as how to do dry camping, as well as how to do city water. You probably won't be doing city water because it requires you having your door open, and most people don't like that. But you will have some diagrams over here that allows you to kind of figure out this stuff. This is pretty easy to use. You have your shower input. You do get this. Oh, nope. You do get this shower spray as standard. It's a quick connect, so you just plug it in, and then it allows you to spray off, especially like, you know, if you have sandy feet or you go biking and you're all muddy, you can just spray off externally outside of the unit and go back in. You have your power switch for your water pump, which you can also control from the LCD control panel up front. And then this is where your fresh water input will go. So you just pop this off, put it in your water hose, screw it in, turn on a spigot, and then make sure you're doing a power filled tank, and then your water pump will suck in the water. Once your water tank is full, then on the bottom over here, you can see it. You see it? Can you see it? Oh, right there. Okay, I lost it. Your water tank is behind this panel. So if you need to service it, you can take it off. And then on the left and right hand sides over here, you have these L-tracks, which are adjustable, which allow you to do tie downs. All right. So let's get a better view of this. In the Jayco Terrain 2, I think we did talk about the hitch that you have, but then in the inside, you have a bug screen as well as a privacy screen. It does roll down. And then on the inside of here, that was for like a vacuum. You have a power plug as well as your furnace output. One of the things you probably didn't see is that you also do have another furnace output right here. Okay, and then some storage areas here. All right. On the driver's side door, you have a little bit of netting here, which you can store stuff. I have my shower hose. This is the door. Other side over here, passenger side, you have your door, window, and then you have storage area. This is where I put my water hoses. Okay, let's go over the Mercedes-Benz chassis for the Jayco Terrain. I'm on super wide angle, so you guys can see a little bit more. But in the front of the cabin, you do have this built-in curtain rod. So you can easily hang in a privacy curtain, blackout shades, kind of whatever you want over here in order to provide a little more privacy. It's a really nice touch that they have over here. In the front, you have your driver's side seats and then your passenger side over here. Both of these seats do have motorized adjustments. So what you can do is you can change the tilt, change the positioning. It does have memory as well, so I believe there's 3 memory options that you can do. And then there's also heated seats, so really great for the winter or on cold days. These seats also do swivel back towards the back of the coach. So it's not motorized, there is a lever, you pull that, and then that allows you to turn the seat 180 degrees, and then it locks in place. The forward cabin over here also has the Mercedes-Benz LCD screen. So what's really cool is you can use this. You can do AirPlay as well as Android Play, I believe. And then you can connect your phone to it. You can see your maps, play music, all that good stuff. Overall, very comfortable in terms of the seating situation. A lot of comfort features like heated seats as well as motorized adjustments. And then it also does have some safety features too, like lane assist that beeps at you, cruise control stuff, automatic high beam adjustments, things like that. Some of the storage areas that you can see over here up top, you do have a storage area above each seat. It's pretty sizable. You can fit in a lot of stuff over here. You do have storage area at the bottom of the seating area here, where the door is. On the driver's side, under the seat are a whole bunch of fuse boxes, so you don't have storage there. But on the passenger side, you have a little cubby hole here. And then on the bottom, some door storage. And below the seat, you'll find an area for you to store some stuff as well. That space is empty, so you can use it to your heart's content. All right, so shades over here that you can put down on both sides. Some lights over here that light up the forward cabin. And then sunglass holder area here. Then on the bottom over here, these are factory Mercedes-Benz floor mats that you can order at any Mercedes-Benz that services Sprinter vans. So we got this, it fits perfectly. It's only the front over here. It doesn't include this little aisle over here. So that's something to consider. Your stock Jayco Terrain does not include these floor mats. You'll have to get these yourself. And one last thing over here up front, you do have an area for you to have a whole bunch of ports, a USB-C, a 12 volt kind of cigarette lighter style ports over here. And this is wireless charging. So if you have an iPhone, for example, with wireless charging, then you can charge it over there. AC controls are over here. A whole bunch of buttons. Over here, you do have some switches for 4x4. So there's low as well as high that you can use to engage it. And then you have some headlight adjustments over there. On the right-hand side, you have air compressor as well as your top roof-mounted LED bar. steering wheel, a whole bunch of easy controls that you can use, cruise control, as well as some screen navigation. Right hand side over here, you have some speaker controls, volume controls, things like that. So here's the roof. You have a couple different things. You have solar panels, 50 watts up front. You have an LED light over here. Your max air fan. Your 12 volt trickle charge for your chassis battery. You have another 50 watt over here, another 50 watt solar panel, your Coleman Mach 10 air conditioner. And then you have some ports and vents over here. Climb up top so you get a better look. You have your solar disconnect, one of the two ones. You have one on your roof. I just leave mine on permanently, and then I just disconnect it if I want to from the garage area. There you go. You do have some cross racks for your roof rack. These are adjustable, so you just remove the bolts, adjust it as necessary based on your storage preferences. I do think you can swap out these 50 watts, the 4 of them over here, for larger panels if you want to, but it does require you to mount it on the cross racks. So that might be a project that I do. All right, I'm gonna go back down.